where we are today is helping corporations develop star performers. So there's an incredible literature about what is a star performer. And it really is somebody who has high emotional intelligence. And that's usually what we're focusing on. If you look at, Tracy, the difference of someone who's very smart, high IQ, someone who has technical expertise, and then someone who has this concept of emotional intelligence, all the literature says the star performers, 90% of what makes a star performer is emotional intelligence.
In layman's term, what is that?
Well, in layman's term, there's some personal sides and social sides. On the personal side, there's personal skills or competencies. What those are understanding yourself and managing yourself. On the social side, it's understanding others and managing others. Now, some people are very good on one side, and some people are very good on the other side. To be a star performer, you need, of these 20 competencies or skills, probably 10 or 11 in the different areas. Accurately, probably the people that I see, they don't need major changes, but they need, the next, that 5% is going to make them from an average performer to a star performer. I think one of the great things about this concept of emotional intelligence is it can be learned, and there are specific things that you can do for each of these competencies. Someone usually gets feedback, how we would work with them, a 360-degree feedback. And of these areas, 2 or 3 areas that they need to work on, and then what specific skills. Different than your IQ, you really can't change that, but your emotional intelligence, there's a lot of hope. It's the key factor that makes a star performer, and there's a lot of strategies and things you can do to raise each of these areas.
How much of it is superficial, real quick, like what you wear to the
No, I wouldn't say much of it at all. It's a lot of things of being a strong leader, giving good feedback, being conscientious, being trustworthy. I mean, these are all some of the competencies. Using influence, conflict management, being self-aware, self-assessment, confidence. So those are most of the 20. And in each of those areas, somebody would get assessed. Where are they strong? Where are they weak? How can they move up in that area?
And in this climate with the economy not in a great place,
right.
Can people say, I want someone to come in and help this situation out? Should they be recommending that?
I think they should go to their HR department, their training department. A lot of people use us, and it's a retention factor for the individual. Organizations look at organizational design and leadership development. So we really help businesses look at their objectives by developing star leaders and star teams. When people get elevated, what worked before no longer works. You know that adage, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always gotten. And I think one of the interesting pieces of research from Goldman and emotional intelligence, that the higher someone goes up in an organization, 80 to 90% of their success factors is emotional intelligence. So they leave how smart they are and their IQ, that probably got them to the initial position or two, and they leave technical expertise, and they move to a place that now requires emotional intelligence. And I think I like to define that as understanding yourself, managing yourself, understanding others, managing others. Kind of the key 4 clusters. But there's solid research that says the further you go up in an organization, 90% of their success is the EI.